Hello guys, welcome back to another video of 18 Cinema Summary. In this video, we are going to tell you the full plot of the series The Billion Dollar Code. This series was made in 1993, about a true story of a German software company Art+com which sued Google. The claim for suing was that Google had stolen a code from their product and used it to create Google Earth. A case against a company as big as Google. What are the odds of winning here? Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. The series is about two German men, Carsten Schluter and Yuri Müller, who created a program called TerraVision. Carsten is a digital artist, while Yuri is a hacker. Carsten creates programmed art as his university project and shows it in the various club. His professors ridicule him for the glitching program, and one professor even calls it Pac-Man. Meanwhile, the hacker Yuri, who keeps an eye on the program created, approaches Carsten in the bar. He tells him that his program seems really impressive and can make certain changes to improve it. Carsten accepts his offer and meets Yuri at the Hacker Collective. In this place, Yuri gathered with several colleagues. The Hacker Collective, also known as Chaos Collective, is a renowned hacking agency in Germany. Meanwhile, there is a raid of police outside, and they sneak out amidst the raid. Yuri takes him to a relatively safer place, where Yuri shows him how to improve graphics quality using Onyx Reality Engine by Silicon Graphics. Yuri shows him a smooth spinning of Earth's globe. This gives Carsten a mind-blowing idea, but suddenly the security guard enters, and they run away. After running, the two boys reach a kebab stand to eat. Carsten wonders about how he can create a program that will zoom in and out of the Earth's map, showing pinpointing even houses in the street. He tells that to Yuri, and the idea seems brilliant. He talks about the book that he read, which stated that the hackers would become the artists of the 21st century. To execute the mission, they needed funding. To get the funding, both of them approach the megacorporation Deutsche Telekom and present their idea. The people over there seem supportive. However, they are not in favor of investing in such a project as it seems unreliable to them. Through a persuasive advertising technique, Carsten manages to persuade them. Since they do not want to lose the chance of getting the fund, Carsten promises to create the software and present it at the conference in Kyoto next year. They inquire about the schedule and team which is yet to be formed. The manager asks them to have a valid contract and thus devise a name for the product, which they name TerraVision. The next step for the boys is assembling a team. Initially, they are seen talking to different hackers about working on an art project who mock them. However, when they hear about the investors, they agree to become part of the team. A team of hackers from the Hacker Collective and the graphic designers from Carsten's friend circle starts working on the project. The two innovators buy Onyx Reality Engine by the funding provided. Carsten assigns each team member their duties. After assigning responsibilities to everyone, one task is left: designing an algorithm, and is given to Yuri. The algorithm is considered the core of TerraVision. They set up a clock to gauge their time efficiency. It is hard to create a program like this, and there are not enough maps this year. But since the task is assigned to hackers, they obtain the maps of each part of Earth from NASA. They are working hard until a mental breakdown that Yuri suffers from in 1993. He tells Carsten that the storage capacity is extremely less to accommodate the immense amount of data. Additionally, he also faces an algorithm mistake that makes the earthquakes happen every time he zooms in. The next scene shows everyone hovering around the computer, waiting to see the interface of the Earth on the product. Yuri starts the software, but it still glitches, and everyone gets enraged since they are left only 1 week. Yuri breaks down and passes out with hyperventilation syndrome. He gets admitted to a hospital. He gets mad when Carsten tells him to see things from another perspective, which gives him the idea of changing the algorithm. In a short time, they create the software, which is their magnum opus. They show the software at the conference in Kyoto. Everyone loves the software. Each person tries to see their hometown through it and succeeds in doing so. The Association of Computer Science Machinery gives them awards and mentions their name in the 50 most important inventions in the digital era. After that, Brian, one of the chiefs at Silicon Graphics, reaches out to them. Yuri and Carsten consider him their computer god. He tells them how he loved their product and invites them to visit California to display it at the company's showroom. There he asks them to demonstrate the idea. On seeing their work, he tells them the importance of their intellectual property and suggests them to become an entrepreneur. One night, While Karsten and Yuri are sitting by the bonfire and discussing ideas, Brian approaches them to take Yuri to the pioneer of Yahoo. The next day, Yuri comes to Karsten in the morning while he's tipsy. Karsten gets worried and asks him what he told Brian about. Yuri tells him that he wants to team up with Brian so that their product can become accessible to the general public. However, Karsten disagrees. Karsten intends to start a company of their own, so he takes him back to Berlin. It turns out that night Yuri shared the algorithm with Brian, and he stole it. They come back to Germany and start a company called Art Plus Commander. It was a dream of Karsten to blend technology with graphic art, and thus they form a company. The same company which funded them indicates that they love their idea and are ready to invest further. They started working on the project and seemed hopeful until 2005. After some years, in 2005, Brian introduces a program for demonstration which looks like an exact copy of TerraVision. The entire team feels melancholy and disappointed. When Yuri knows of this, he feels enraged and betrayed since he told Brian about this idea. However, Yuri still sends him a letter of congratulation. In the next scene, Brian goes to Germany when he gets congratulated by Yuri and approaches the German innovators. Brian gets afraid that they might sue him, so he approaches them himself. Brian offers partnership to the innovators to create another software. Subtly, Brian tells Yuri about how he used his algorithm and offers them to have a collaboration to earn $5 million. Yuri sends the license of TerraVision along with patent documents to the company, but they decline it. Karsten and Yuri want to sue the giant corporate for stealing their algorithm and thus try their best. It turns out that they will not gain much even if they try. The lawsuit costs $10 million, as told by a German lawyer. They would have to face a loss of $5 million, since the amount proposed earlier to them is $5 million only. Such a terrible event comes with its severe consequences on the partnership of Yuri and Karsten. They start disputing over the matter, and finally, the company Art Plus Com breaks up. They go their own way as Karsten leaves the company and Yuri goes back to Budapest. A couple of years later, Google releases Google Earth. Karsten gets furious since his idea got stolen and contacts the world's best lawyers. He mails them, and among them, he finds the name of Leah Hazuth, a lawyer working for the law firm in Houston. She notices a pattern in the world which is similar to the case of Yuri and Karsten. She realizes that as the big companies expand their business, they are contacting the smaller firms to partner with. They offer several amounts for licensing in partnership. Leah and Brian's lawyer are seen sitting in a hall with other people and integrate Karsten and Yuri. He asks them about the start of the project and tries to get an in-depth idea about the trivial details. In the next scene, she realizes that a clause was present in their agreement. It is stated that if they enter into a collaboration, therefore, the $5 million offer could not be proven, and that strengthens their case. When the trial takes place, Brian's lawyer tells the court that Brian does not use Google Earth as a direct source of income. This argument gets nullified by the tech expert of League. She states that despite not earning from the users, the company is earning from user data. Lee's tech expert explains that they are getting money since they obtain users' data to target more relevant advertisements through network effect. To find out the entire cost of damage on which the case was filed, the tech expert calculates the number of users each year by putting 10 cents of each. The compensatory cost of the damage turns out to be $700 million. In the subsequent trial, Leah proves this case to be a case of patent infringement since the two algorithms are precisely similar to each other. Dr. Callahan helps Leah with this, but he still fails to acknowledge his point since the jury could not understand the terminology he uses. This doesn't reach a proper conclusion. After a break, Brian's lawyer asks Yuri several questions in which he uses his own emails and words against him. He also asks Yuri several questions, which Yuri answers cleverly. Brian firstly denies that he ever met the two guys and offered them to visit Silicon Valley. Furthermore, he also refuses to accept his own appraisal of the TerraVision. After analyzing the entire case, the jury listens to Brian's side of the story and decides to base the results. The verdict announces the answer to three main questions, which form the basis of the entire case. The first question is about Art Plus Com proving the Google Earth as an infringing patent. The answer for that is announced as no. The second question is if Google Earth has confirmed that the patent provided by Art Plus Com is invalid, and the answer to that question is yes. The third and last question is about the presence of any similarities between the two software algorithms. The answer to these questions is no, and it nullifies the claims made by the two innovators. They become utterly disappointed after losing the case. They do not get any money and the authority of the software. However, they come together again as they get another idea. In the next scene, Leah seems disappointed since she emotionally attached herself to the case and desperately wanted to win this one. Both Yuri and Karsten tell her that they share the same sentiments. The two innovators take her to a club to wash the sadness away. There, Yuri changes the song of the club by interrupting the HTTPS signals using Wi-Fi. This gives them another innovative idea of a secure messaging service with an encrypted HTTPS access connection. The story seems to end with a cliffhanger with this idea. It leaves the conclusion up to the imagination of the viewer. And that wraps up our recap this time for the series The Billion Dollar Code. Feel free to drop a comment below as to what we should recap next. Thank you for watching.